Greetings everyone, Lo-Fi here, coming at you with a new video. This is a follow-up to my Ashiok video from a week or so ago. So, Wizards of the Coast released a new story called A Garden of Flesh that takes place sometime after Streets of New Capenna. So, in my Ashiok Explained video, last time we left Ashiok was at the end of Theros Beyond Death. Ashiok, scouring Elsif's nightmare, discovered the phyrexians. And oh boy, Ashiok really liked what they saw in the phyrexians. A true nightmare, something so scary that it wormed and bolted itself into Elsif's mind. Ashiok had to see these creatures for themselves. So, the story starts with Elish Norn, Grand Cenobite, leader of the Phyrexians. The story starts where Elish Norn is giving her usual sermon to her fellow Phyrexians in her Orthodox of the Machines. She has a captive Marin who she plans on giving her gift of glistening oil. And as she does, as she slices open the Marin's arm and slices off a small part of herself so that the oil may glisten and seep into their wounds to bring glorious perfection to them, something happens. Something goes wrong. All of a sudden, they're not taking the transformation well. She sputtered and choked as the glistening oil smothered her, filled her body, twitching as the oil began to flow around her gaping more. The corner of her eyes opened. And then, suddenly, the body shuddered. It was an uneven weight, something that made no mechanical sense to Norn. And, all of a sudden, the Marin's body heaved, and it had a convulse so violent Norn dropped her. And suddenly, a pulpy cord of organic materials, a fibrous wooden root, sinuous and alien, burst from their belly. Blood unnaturally thick and foul oozed into the dials. It pooled beneath Norn's feet, a twisting abomination of her own glistening oil. These roots proceeded to come out of the human's mouth, moving her teeth and her tongue aside, and her eye sockets. Norn immediately saw this and cut their throat, stopping whatever was happening. And something strange happened. Elish Norn felt fear. She was afraid that her own oil failed her. She was starting to doubt her own perfection. And then shortly afterwards, as as the body hauled up to be experimented and to be autopsied and then destroyed, everywhere the Marin's blood seemed to seep, more of those weird wooden growths appeared out of the ground. Elish Norn keeps tugging at them over and over to find half-formed kidneys, the severed legs and teeth, as if the body is, as if somehow organic was growing inside of her great Orthodox. As Elish Norn keeps pulling these roots out and out, slowly doubting them, they realize something. The sky has turned an unnatural darkened color. Elishnorn thinks, trying to figure out what's going on. And then she realizes something. She realizes that some of their prisoners, while they were sleeping, would be trembling, huddling together in their sleep, crying and screaming out, as if they were having nightmares. And and then, looking upon the sky, she sees a figure, and she whispers, Ashiok. Ashiok appears. Ashiok is very, very amused. Ashiok was not sure that phyrexians could dream. Hell, even Norn says that they don't dream. And Norn, upon figuring out it was Ashiok's doing, was pissed that Ashiok would twist and taint her own mind. Ashiok, Ashiok absolutely found this fascinating. She managed to get a Phyrexian to have a nightmare, to have a dream, even though they don't sleep. And worse, she managed to make Norn feel fear. As this is going on, good old Norn, starts getting angrier and angrier, demanding that Ashiok quits what they're doing. And she hopes to finish off Ashiok. But then something happens. The roots on the ground, the body part, they start to form a picture. They start to cobble together. And they cobble together in a weird, fleshy, pulp root figure of Elseth. Even worse, it's Elseth wearing Norn's armor, her porcelain armor, given form to this illusion. Norn, freaking out about this, notices that the flesh puppet mirrors her. As they both move, so does the grotesque version of Elseth. Tired of Ashiok's game, Norn decides that she's just gonna kill Ashiok, get it over with, right? Well, before that can happen, Ashiok planeswalks. Her their smoking signature smoky after effect fading. And as Ashiok fades, their illusions start to falter. As they're faltering, Elish Norn is walking closer and closer to the copy of Elseth, and as it crumbles before her, right before her head, it crumbles to dust. The copy of Elseth stares into Norn's eyes with a look of almost pity and sadness for them. Norn, absolutely furious with what has transpired, decides that she needed to find this Elseth and rid the multiverse of her. So yeah, remember, that's the summary for the story. But remember, in my last video on Ashiok, I theorized that Ashiok won't be converted, and Honestly, I thought Ashiok might even team with Norn, but no, no. Ashiok wanted nothing to do with aiding Norn. Norn was a new canvas, a challenge, and Ashiok reveled in it. As for the future of our pal Ashiok, personally, I could see Ashiok helping the Gatewatch finish off Norn or some of the other Phyrexians. I could just. It would make sense. Because think about it. Elsif is basically Ashiok's pet project? Ashiok quite enjoys tormenting Elsif and how much their nightmares feed their power. So yeah, instead of Norn probably killing Elsif, I I bet you Ashiok intervenes, which would be totally cool. I'm hyped that we might already be getting a new Ashiok, as they're one of my favorite planeswalkers. But yeah, that is the new chapter story between Ashiok and Elsa, or Ashiok and Elish Norn. And this is part 2 of my theory. I would like to thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment on what you think will happen. And I will see y'all next time.